Welcome back. We've been making a streaming music service with Phoenix and Elixir. And in the last video, we built an XHR function for doing XML HTTP requests on the front end, on the client side, in JavaScript. And we were talking about next we'd build out some of the API endpoints. So let's dive into that. I think let's start here in the router, and we'll make a new pipeline for the API. And this is going to accept JSON. Well, it's going to expect the client to accept JSON. And we'll put this on the root as well. We might move it later. Yeah. And so this, we're going to do posts. We're going to want one for the current audio. We'll put these right on the player controller for now. I've been thinking about that. I don't know if I really like them there, but we can always move them later. Current background we'll need as well. And we'll find remote web player controller current background. Yeah, let's put both of those there. Oops. Okay, and so that's our router entries. So now we'll build out these actions on the player controller rather. Makes me wonder, did I write that right? I did, just said it wrong. Okay, so we'll build out these actions on the player controller. Current audio. And I don't think we'll end up needing any params on that. So we want to get the current play, and that we get from lo-fi limo audio, current play. We need, we may factor that out later. And then there's the options. We'll put a pin in those and come back to them and get them into the configuration. But let's build this out first, and then we'll circle back to that. Render current audio, and then we'll set an assign on this for the play. Okay, and then current background is going to be very much the same. These functions are pretty simple. They're really just kind of passing through from the lower. Usually these types of things are more complicated, and these may well get more complicated. Like we could add rate limiting here. We won't do authentication for these endpoints, but if you were doing it, that would be here. Those are the kind of things you often see here. Or if it's a more sophisticated action, you may be coordinating between several functions on modules in the main application. But this is, we're just answering a quick question really here, so this is pretty straightforward. We already kind of did all the heavy lifting on this, as much as there is heavy lifting. Okay, okay, so that's set. Now, these render calls are going to expect there to be render function clauses on the view. So this render is on Phoenix.controller, I think. But it's going to find the related view by inflecting the name, I think, and then it's going to expect there to be render functions over there with a little different signature, but we're going to need to build those now. So that, these look like like this. And that's not like a name or a string that the client sees, but what's going on is like when our eex templates get compiled, the show.html.eex like we made a couple of videos ago, or last video, yeah. When that gets compiled, it actually becomes a function clause on this view that looks like this, render, but the string there is going to be show.html. And the HTML and the JSON aren't really seen by the client, but they're used like if you had an action that could be reached through two different pipelines that had two different media types they would negotiate for, you know, the accepts thing we put in the pipeline, then it would choose which of these function clauses to use to render based on the negotiated content type. So I don't know if I've ever actually used that in practice, but I can imagine projects where you would use it and it would be really, really handy. And so that's what this is for. And then we'll have our assigns. You know, let's destructure that a little right here. Let's get the play out. And then we don't need that. Now for audio, this could be a song or a bumper. So let's make a couple of clauses here. So let's say when there's a play dot bumper, let's do the bumper case first. Then we're gonna respond with something like, let's go take a look at what that, I was just putting some data into the, oh, that's not gonna help. So let's call current play like that, and then, oh no, next threshold, what do we say, that's about 10 seconds, and then the announcement frequency, we say, what is that, 20 minutes, I think, and let's just suppose those for now. We'll get them into the configuration later. So it comes up with a bumper first, as it should. We've got the bumper here so we can get the name, although I don't really think I want to show that on the client side. I think all we need to pass down is the fact that it is a bumper. So let's send like a type on the JSON object we're going to send down, I think. And then we'd better send some stuff from the item. So I think we should send the duration so we can show a countdown timer to the end of the, you know, the track or the bumper or whatever. And we'll need the media file name, so we better preload that media. And then oh man, maybe we should, you know, I'm looking at this like that's not, first of all, it's item.bumper. And it's not going to be nil, it's going to be association not loaded. Getting in my head maybe a better way to do that. Maybe it's a little ugly. What if it was like item no, I think I don't want to like destructure the whole thing here. what can we do? Is there a guard that lets us maybe we can express it. Can we express it like this? Limo, audio, bumper, play.item.bumper. I don't know if we can express it that way. I'm going to try. But then the other thing I noticed in here is the media is not loaded, so we're going to need to preload that. So we can preload it here in play.last, but there's also this next play code path. We would need to preload it here as well. And that's under item, right? So I think like that, and then let's pop over to, yeah. I think we can do like that. Sure. Oh, I gotta recompile. Yup. Okay, so now we've got that, we can grab that file name. Okay, so then what we want to return is the this isn't a bumper anymore. So we want to return, oh, we don't need the bumper name, so we really don't need anything off the bumper. We want the duration, right? And that's on play.item.duration, and maybe let's do it like this, because I guess we'll have a bunch of things in here, right? And we'd better have the media file name. So usually camel case this stuff in JavaScript. Is that? It's a little gross here, isn't it? Kind of hard to pick which convention to follow. I wonder if it'll automatically do that for me. I don't know. Item.media, was that? The media's, yeah, the media's on the item. And we were getting the file name from that. And then what else do we want to grab? We don't need the plays. Remaining we can calculate for ourselves. No, we can't. We need to know that from the server. So, unless, you know, we want to imagine everybody's clock is right, which it's not, man. Like, it's really not. We could send down like that now that we calculated, but is that a cool thing to do, or should we? Yeah, I don't see that at all, man. I think let's send down the remaining time is the way to go. So how do we make sure that that's available? Not right here. we changed that. So that's not a field on there anymore. So we actually want to do that here in the controller. Okay, so the controller is getting a little more interesting. So remaining is going to be audio.play remaining, I think. And we can just copy pasta that here, except it's backgrounds. I think that works. And then we'll also want to poke that onto here, into the assigns, so we have it down in the view. Let's just make sure that compiles. No, not really. I mean, it does, but it's not going to run. Oh, right, we need to specify now. I did say we might have to factor that out, didn't I? Let's see how that does. Yeah, okay, we know about those. We know about that. Wish I could just fix it. Maybe I can. Maybe I need to look into that. Yeah, so now we better, yeah, let's get that. Getting a little ugly. Remaining. You know, in that respect, I don't even know if we need the duration. I think we really just need the remaining, don't we? I think we can compute everything else from that. Yeah. Let's go with that. We'll change it if we need to. So the other clause of this would be when song, like that. We still need the file name and the remaining, but we also need the artist. We need the title, and we need the URL. Yeah, okay, and then we'll have a clause for the current background, and this is going to look very similar to the current audio, right? Yeah. Lo-fi limo backgrounds dot background. Oh, that's just backgrounds always have a background, so no need to worry about that. Simplified. So we do need the file name, which reminds me we are not preloading that, so we'd better. Suppose we're done with those for a minute. Probably that for now. So I'm guessing maybe I should check backgrounds current play DC now, and then only the next threshold is an option on this one, right? think, yeah. Yeah, no, it's not loading the media on there. So let's find, oh, it's the same story, so we can add it to next play. Preload media. Media's right on there in this case, right? Yeah, right on the background. No, it's on the background. Before it was on the item, now it's on the background. So we gotta say background media. Yeah, that didn't seem right. And then we gotta get it on this code path as well, which is over here, right there. So let's say preload bumper media. Were we not even preloading the bumper there? Well, we are now. Not yet. Oh. Well, I mean, if you want to be picky about that. Man, I thought I'd... So we can't do that. There's got to be a way. Elixir guard check struct type? I don't know. Avoid specifying. Yeah, I could put it in the pattern match. It's just already getting kind of ugly, right? I didn't really want to just destructure the whole son of a gun, but this is talking about dialyzer, which we're not doing. I mean, we could check the, what is it, the struct member? That's kind of gross, right? Let's look. What's a nice way to do that? Play remaining, play item song. Well, I mean, we can wedge it in here. Let me go poke around a little more on the interwebs and see if there's a better way to do this rather than show you some weird hacky way. So I'll check it out. Be right back. Well, it looks like, as best I can tell, this is actually state of the art. So we'll just kind of go a little crazy and just destructure everything we need here. And that's because of the pattern match, we're going to get that for free. So play, okay, so it's up on play, item, is that... So we don't really need... that, but we will need... we'll further... Yeesh. Further destructure the item. Bumper. Which we don't actually need anything from. So I think actually we could say like that. And don't need... Okay. So that tightens up a little. So this is going to be item media file name. Let's see if that compiles. Found expression in guard. Okay, so we're on the right track, I think. So let's do the same thing here. So this is going to be like song. Maybe there was some other way to test contrary-wise against association not loaded, right? Like, what is that anyway? Is that a struct or is that... Yeah, it looks like it's a struct. Yeah, I'm guessing it is. So we'd be in the same pickle either way. It's a pickle-shaped boat. Okay. I'm fine with that. So we got down to the item. So let's do that. Something's wrong here. That was it. Okay. Cool, that's how we'll do that. What the heck was I trying to do? Let's see if this background was gonna... Yep. So, does not have association bumper. Right, I wrote the wrong thing. Background. Do you think I wrote it wrong in both places? No, I didn't. Huh. Usually I'm at least consistent when I'm wrong, but not in this case. Oh, too much with the copy pasta, didn't I? Because there's no white. Wait, what happened? Where the heck did I try doing that? Play.ex. Remaining. Oh wow, I guess we never ran this before. Well, that's right on the darn place, so fix that easy enough. Should always test everything before it goes live. Everything gets tested. Some things get tested before they go live. All right, so the media is loaded. So we can do our magic over here. file name, remaining. Artiste. You know, there's no item. We were just talking about that. But there is a background. Oh boy, man. That's dangerous, huh? Did that compile? All right. I'm pretty okay with all that. Now, so the other piece of the puzzle is getting that configuration in there. So let's see if we can, we're going to be long on this video, but let's see if we can make it happen, okay? So that's like, is that on application where we can get our environment? I think. Fetch env. App and key. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, let's pop over there and get that in. So that's on two places. One is audio and opt. So yeah, I think I know what I want to do here. Is opt is fetch and what? Configuration parameter does not exist. This function returns error. Yeah, let's do opt equals fetch env opt, yeah. So my thought, actually we should do that the other way, right? Is my thought is to concatenate the two lists, because it's a keyword list, right? And so when we go to do a fetch out of it, it's going to grab the first item with the correct key. So if we concatenate them and put the locally defined one first, the argument one first, then it will override anything specified in the configuration. Neat, huh? It'll be neat if it works. So we'll need a fetch env is this the only place I'm going to do this? Because I don't, it is, isn't it? So yeah, let's not factor that into its own function. That's goofy. Let's say, oh, well, I don't know, maybe I do want to do it that way. So case application.fetch env lo-fi limo, this module, do. If it's error, we're going to return the empty list. And otherwise, we're going to return the opts. Yeah, I like having that down here rather than up here. I guess we could do that concatenation in here too, but I don't know. Then that seems pretty good to me. Does that compile? Yes. Yes, it does. Okay. Well, this is a nice function. Let's just copy that and come over here to backgrounds. And we can do same thing over here. Like that. And cool. The thing is, we should expect this to crash. That's perfect because that is a programming error. Good. Okay, so now we can come over to the config and we can drop in here limo limo.audio and next threshold subject to change, announcement frequency also subject to change. Let's do it like that. We got to restart because there's a config change. That went pretty well. Backgrounds.current play, and now we should not need to specify options. Oh, sure. Okay, let's fix that. Of course, if one of them replies with error, the other should be okay options, right? I don't know why I wasn't thinking about that. But of course it should work that way. It works, it's working. Okay, I promised we'd poke at that some. This video's actually not running that long, is it? I'd still like to wrap up. It's getting kind of late here. So we could say XHR current background. I'll just put null there. Wow, look at that. Can I? There you go, that's a little bigger for you to read. A little bigger for me to read, honestly. So, cool. Right there's everything we said. Artist, file name, remaining, title, and the URL. How's it work for audio? Looks like it works fine. We got a bumper. Okay, something's wrong. Did not find a template. So, did I write the template wrong, or did I not load everything onto the play that should be there. That's what we get to figure out. Let's look at the template first. So we expect this is like this, right? And that looks okay to me. Yeah, I think that. So that means probably the yeah, probably something didn't get loaded right. So I'm gonna pick through this. Well, I'm gonna leave you on a cliffhanger. We're gonna figure this out next video. So, you know, if you think you already know what it is, leave it down in the comments. Prove how smart you are. If you have any questions about, you know, how I did something, ask them, and maybe we can learn something from each other. And if you have any feedback on how I'm making the videos, please let me know. I'd like to make them better. So, till the exciting conclusion next time, take care.